Good afternoon. It is Friday, October 5th, and welcome to the Panther News Network. I'm Chas Nolan.
I'm Nishan Etheridge.
And here's what's going on today. Navy veteran and Utah resident William Clyde Allen is arrested for sending suspicious letter to President Trump. Earlier this week, Allen confessed to sending letters containing the deadly poison ricin. According to authorities, Allen confessed to purchasing castor beans, which naturally contains the poison. And if swallowed, it can cause serious injuries or even death. The first of many letters was found on Monday at a military base located in Southwest Washington, D.C. It was addressed to Trump, but investigators say the note made no sense. Two more letters were found at the Pentagon, and a letter with white powder was found at the Houston campaign office of Senator Ted Cruz yesterday. Authorities say there is no connection between the letter recently found in Houston and the letters from Washington. Law officials say they identify Allen as a suspect because his return address was on the letter sent to Washington. Allen is being held in the Davis County Jail. Federal charges will be filed today.
California recently became the first state in the U.S. to require women on public trading corporation boards. The state has required at least one woman to be a board of directors for each company by the end of next year. In the year of 2021, these corporations will be required to have up to 3, depending on the number of seats within the company. On the 4th of public corporations that have headquarters in California don't have women on the board of directors. This is one of many bills Governor Jerry Brown signed that protects women. Countries overseas like Norway and France have mandated that corporation boards must include women. In fact, Norway was the first country to establish 3 requirements for corporate boards. Senator Hannah Beth Jackson stated, quote, "Having more women boards also would make corporations more successful." Governor Jerry Brown also approved legislator that employees must provide sexual harassment training, and secret settlements are banned that relate to any sexual harassment or assault.
A meat company based in Arizona is recalling 6.9 million pounds of raw beef due to the possibility of containing salmonella. This was publicized by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety Inspection Service on Friday. That amount of meat is how much 31,000 Americans usually consume in over a year. The meat that was recalled contains products such as ground beef and sirloin trimmings, was packaged up between the dates of July 26th and September 7th, and was sold under the labeling of well-known brand names. Those brand names included Commoner Perfect Choice, Gourmet Burger, Grass Run Farms Natural Beef, JBS Generic, Showcase, and Showcase Walmart. There has been 57 cases across 16 states that are related to illnesses caused by meat that have been recalled due to containing salmonella, with most of the illnesses occurring from August 5th to September 6th. It took over a month for USDA, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and others to discover that the largest meat company in the world, JBS Tolson, a subsidiary of JBS, to have been the common denominator in all of the illnesses that took place. Salmonella sickens 1.2 million Americans every year and causes 450 deaths. Foods that contain bacteria such as eggs, milk, chicken, beef, and raw produce are main sources of majority of those illnesses. The most common symptoms of salmonella poisoning are diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps, which usually begin between 12 and 72 hours of eating contaminated food. Most people do get better within a week, resulting in not needing any treatment at all. However, the antibiotic-resistant strain Salmonella Newport implicated in the current outbreak is more difficult to treat and more likely to cause hospitalization and death. Health consumers are warning to throw out or return any of these meat products that you have purchased between the dates of July 26th and September 7th.
Coming up next, find out what industry is trying to have a home near you. See what's lighting up the night in downtown Houston. And a student found with the
A Canadian company called Kinky's Dolls had hoped to be bringing the very first sex robot brothel right to Houston, Texas. Kinky's Dolls in Toronto, Canada is the first adult dolls rent before you buy service in North America. The company sells and rents out dolls that have values of $3,000 or more per doll. Kinky's Dolls had been projected to open in September or this month in early October until the plan was shut down. On Wednesday, the City Council of Houston, Texas came to a collaborative agreement to pass an ordinance that effectively prevents the sex robot brothel from opening in the city. Prior to City Council's vote to block the opening, numerous citizens protested and spoke out against the company, gaining 10,000 signatures. Councilman Greg Travis said, "I know there are some people that will sit there and say, what does the city of Houston have to do with any of this? And the answer is, we're not getting into your bedroom, but don't bring it into our district. Don't bring it into our city. This is not a good business for our city. We are not Sin City." Some people have already taken to social media to express their relief and upset over the cancellation of the sex doll brothel, saying things like, "Why on earth would you not take a chance and let men bother some robots instead of real women?" And lastly, the prohibitionists just cannot mind their own business. And also, I'm relieved we don't need that wicked nonsense. The councilman updates a local ordinance that bans potential customers from having sex with anything that resembles a human, but a business could still sell them under the new regulation.
Houston is known for its unique art and signs, but residents were amazed when one of the city's popular landmarks sparkled the night. A group of artists transformed the iconic Wheel of Houston sign, just located east of downtown, and turned it into an entertainment show. Houston residents stopped to watch the sign that glowed laser lights and played music throughout the night. Megan Money and John Dixon of JD3 Lasers are the creators of this light show. They also lit up the famous Be Someone sign above North Freeway. Money made a statement saying, quote, "This project is part of a Celebrate Houston series that highlights our city's iconic artwork and landmarks. We aim to dazzle each of them and bring attention to the works that make our city special." You know, the mysterious part of this is that the duo will not tell where their next location is. They feel random appearances are more exciting, which I think is cool. We gotta go out there and see it one day. A student in Fort Worth was detained Wednesday near Polytechnic High School. Officers found the student parked near the campus shortly through the afternoon. They also searched the car and found a semi-automatic handgun. This is the second time in a month that a gun was on or around the campus. In September, the high school was put on lockdown. 3 juveniles are suspected for a robbery. 1 out of the 3 had a gun in the building. However, no one was injured or harmed. The spokesman for Fort Worth School, Clint Blond, stated that the student identities will not be identified because they are juveniles.
A look at the weather today. According to the Weather Channel app, it is partly cloudy and 84 degrees. We have a high of 87 degrees and a low of 73 degrees. There is no rain from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., but there is a 40% chance of rain at 4 p.m. Coming up, a look into financial issues at a popular university, and a state trooper breaks the law when we come back. Prairie View A&M University still has not yet issued multiple students their financial aid award letters for the 2018-2019 school year. School commenced on August 27th, and 1 month later, many students are still dealing with the inconveniences and stress of not having funding for housing or their courses. According to Prairie View's Fall 2018 academic calendar, the deadline for tuition payments was Wednesday, September 19th at 5 o'clock p.m. Every year in late September, all unpaid students have received emails that list dates for first installments, as well as a warning that states that you must pay 34% of your tuition and fees for the fall semester to be considered a paid student. If your account is not in paid status by the listed deadline, your classes will be canceled. I spoke with Prairie View Junior Corinne Turner, who is one of the students that hasn't been awarded yet. Here's what she had to say. Not being awarded my award letter has been hard for me because I do work study, which means if I don't have my award letter, I can't start my work study job. Prairie View's financial aid department upholds a long-standing reputation of unprofessionalism as well as a lack of timeliness. Many students and parents have expressed frustration with the lack of help from the department and failure to meet implemented deadlines. Prairie View senior Erica Davis gave a statement saying, "The employees in the financial aid office have always been unhelpful. Some of them are rude and lack knowledge of the questions that I ask them in regards to my financial aid. The lines are always very long and they rush through each student without taking the time to really help them. They need to get it together."
State troopers suspect a driver was drinking when he got on the Highway 290, going the wrong way. The driver would end up crashing into an 18-wheeler in a head-on collision. Both vehicles suffered fatal damages. Texas Department of Public Safety officials later confirmed that one person was killed. Officials detected a strong odor of alcohol in the car of the driver, who passed away.
One of the most anticipated line of events and game is coming up closer to the end of this month, and that is homecoming. This is a tradition at Prairie View A&M University. Homecoming is held in the fall during the month of October, and it is full of events held on and off campus. Not to mention a concert with well-known artists and football games against Alcorn. And we all know the Marching Storm is going to give us a show during halftime. Here's a little tease of what to expect. That video is courtesy of Prairie View A&M University. Homecoming starts October 21st and ends October 27th. Another thing, Panthers, midterm starts the week before homecoming, so there is no excuse on not passing your test. Work before play. Prairie View produces productive Panthers. On that note, it's almost time to set your homecoming out. We hope that you guys are ready. That is all the time that we have today. Thank you for watching the Panther News Network. Have a great weekend.